Manchester United is on a serious striker hunt and talks have begun between the club and certain players in Germany. This is according to a credible source in Germany. Guys, the talk is on. Let's get into it. My name is Webb. Like, share, subscribe to the United of Sport, and let's get it. Now, listen, guys. Rasmus Højlund scores his first goal in so many games, and just a few days later, as we start the international break, a story breaks from Germany. Florian Plattenberg, by the way, is an underrated transfer guru. Guys, this guy from Portugal has broken certain major stories. So when you listen to this guy speak, you do want to really pay attention, because this guy is credible, especially when it comes to stories in Germany, stories to do with Bayern players, Bayern Munich players. The Bundesliga is his home. I think he's German best, and definitely he's always going to be credible. So this guy has come out and said that Manchester United have started talks over signing a new striker, and they are looking at two strikers. Both of them, by the way, are linked with Arsenal. One is Benjamin Sesko. That one we know. For a long time, Mikel Arteta has viewed Benjamin Sesko as the perfect striker to come in and work with. Now, Benjamin Sesko of RB Leipzig is certainly a bit of a comfortable guy, if you ask me, because first of all, he turned down Arsenal, saying he wants to stick a little bit with RB Leipzig, and I think for his own development to stay there a little longer. But probably with the project going on at Man United, he might be moved if indeed Ruben Amorim zeroes down on him. But the other player who I personally find more exciting is the guy you see there on your screen. He's called Hugo Ekitike. He's 22 years of age. He's a French born. He's born in France. Played for Paris Saint-Germain, who sold him to Frankfurt for 16.5 million euros. But right now, he's a world beater. I'll tell you, if there is one team in Germany that knows how to get about their business in terms of signing players when they are young and high potential for a little fees, and then selling them for crazy amounts a few years later, after grooming them into world beaters, it is Frankfurt. They are just good at that. They have done it with players like Kolo Muani, who they sold to PSG for a lot of money. Players like Omar Mamouche, who recently joined Manchester City for nearly 80 million. So these guys just know how to do their business. It is said that this Ekitike is priced at about 80 million euros. Now we're talking a player I said they bought for less than 20 million euros a few years ago. So Frankfurt are money makers, proper money makers. Now, getting proper into the thing I find exciting about his game is he's a different player. First of all, he has got the physique. He's a hard worker. That's one. He is a player who drops as a striker, drops deep and tries to get the ball and then charges forward. His game is all about going forward. He's a direct guy who gets the ball and is dribbling past bodies vertically, going forward. Not sideways, not horizontally, not diagonally. He wants to go forward towards the goal. For me, that's a direct striker. A little attributes we've seen in Victor Gyökeres, by the way. And these are the kinds of players that Ruben Amorim wants to work with. He's a good dribbler of the ball. He's not selfish. He creates assists. He has scored 13 goals and assisted 4 times in 25 games this season for Frankfurt. Him and Omar Mamouche formed a bromance to envy. They were a match made in heaven. They were assisting each other during their prime time together. So he has got that about his game. He's dangerous in the box, beautiful finisher, but also sees a killer pass close to the goal. He will play a killer pass to whoever is available to finish. So there is that about his game. And the other thing I love about him is his ability to drift wide and in and still move and keep charging forward with the ball. He's I think a good profile of a footballer. He has got little attributes that also you can I think pick from the Victor Osimhen's game. His running abilities when he gets the ball and runs with it. There is a lot about his game that makes him a little complete and good to watch. I like him, to be honest. I think I've watched his videos, taken time to analyze them, and I think there's a player in him. And remember, he's not the finished article. And I don't think United is at a point where I want to sign finished articles. I think you want to sign a player where there's something to work with, but you can mold him into what you want for the team, because Man United is in that phase. So I think for me, he would be a sensible signing for Ruben Amorim, considering what we know about Amorim. The only issue, though, for me about him is the price tag. If we've spent 72 million quid, on Hoyland, then 38 on Zakzi, are we going to spend another nearly 8 or 70 million euros on this guy? Do we have that money? With the situation we know that the club is in, do we really want to look for avenues of getting that money and buy him? Well, maybe, because if you think about it, by the way, if you look at it critically, by the way, Manchester United may not need to sign a lot of players. I've said it before that Man United needs to sign a central midfielder. But they still have Bruno Fernandes, who clearly now will be playing as a central midfielder, not as an attacking midfielder. United will certainly be looking now to build Bruno as the partner of the number 6 Okate or whoever, to be called whoever they choose to have that to have as the main guy in that role. So they might choose not to sign a central midfielder. Already they've got Amad Diallo, who properly is going to be the right wing back at Man United. Maybe they can look for a young backup for Ahmad, or maybe look to mold these many left footers they have in Diego Leo, who will join the team in June, players like Harry Amas, and mold them into inverted wing backs rather, and maybe have one of them as a backup for Ahmad Diallo on the right wing, or perhaps maintain Diogo Dallo. Maybe that could be the plan. So you look at it and think maybe, probably then, they can afford to get each and every penny they can find in the summer when they sell players and spend it on a striker. Or they can look at Anthony, who is also on loan and balling in Spain, and bring him back as a backup for Ahmad on the right wing. So as it looks, by the way, as it seems now, it's looking to feel like maybe United does not really need to sign so many players. Look mostly on the academy and just sign a goal scorer if they are not really convinced by Rasmus Højlund, or they are not willing to be patient with him. So that's the only logical way I see Manchester United spending 70 million euros on another 22-year-old, upcoming striker. But the player is there. If he's affordable, if he were about 40 million, I think I would say go for him. Go for him if you are priced at about 40 million. But Frankfurt just do know how to go about their business. They just do know how to make their money. They want every penny. They will milk it out of any club interested in any of their players. So between him and Benjamin Sesko, honestly, seeing the two, I would personally go for him, for Ekitike. There's that anonymity about him as well. He's not a guy who everyone knows. He's not your guy who has been so much in the papers, but there would also be a bidding war regarding him, because even Arsenal, who also want Benjamin Sesko, are also looking at him as an option in the event that they fail probably to land Benjamin Sesko. So that's the interesting bit. And surprisingly, Benjamin Sesko might be cheaper than Ekitike. Sesko has got a buyout clause of about 55 million quid. This guy, I said, could be priced at about 70 to 80 million euros by Frankfurt. So you look at all that and you're thinking, interesting, what exactly is going to happen? Sesko has scored 10 goals and assisted 5 times in as many games, 25. This guy, 13, and assisted 4 times in 25. If you ask me, I enjoy this guy's style of play, maybe a little more than Sesko's. I enjoy this guy especially because of how he drifts forward with the ball. I like a direct striker who can run with the ball going forward. It reminds me of Thierry Henry, a bit of Thierry Henry vibes. That kind of guy. I love such players, and they're always difficult to deal. They're pain. They're pain to deal with. They are just a headache. So you want to have a team that has got that kind of headache forward. So put him with Garnacho and ensure that the two of them have a bromance, that they will not be selfish on each other. Pass the ball to one and to him when you have to. Have Ahmad lurking around with the width that Patrick Dogu brings in the team, with a smart player like Kobe Maino around. I really think you could be building something with the Ruben Amorim system and style that we've seen, don't you? So that's a bit of what's going on. I will be back to be giving you more details about this talk. But listen, transfer talk is on. Man United might be down to business. Let me know whether you think this boy could be it, or should we be patient with Rasmus Højlund and Chido Obi? Subscribe, and let me catch you later.